And I did all of that forcefully because I was so used to standing up for me and realizing God needed me to kneel so he can stand up for me.
How are you contributing to the dating pool? We want to point the finger, but let's point it back at ourselves and look in the mirror and realize that reflections are a reflection of you.
Yeah. And it's not that I made it. Because you don't make anything until you have healed it. I was getting through. Yes, I was making a lot of money, but I never healed Chrystal.
Give yourself space to relapse. And it's not about the relapse. It's about how quickly you come out of it.
Having to see my mother work 3 to 4 jobs. Like, I've been working 3 to 4 jobs since I was 14. Always hustling, always having like 3 or 4 incomes. But it's not like you chose to be strong. Now, some people have, but some people had to.
Hey everyone, Shoa here for another episode of Queen B.E.E Talks. And I am excited about today's conversation. And I'm gonna get to that in a second, but I'm sitting here with the amazing Chrystal, who I'm gonna claim as forming sister in purpose.
Yes.
Because Chrystal works here at Mettle Works and is in the position to produce and bring stories to life. And I'm excited that she saw our vision and wanted to hold space for us.
Yes.
And I'm excited to have this conversation today because I'm gonna get to know her in a different light. And that's the thing too. You work with so many amazing Black women, but you don't even hold space for them in the workplace.
That's real.
So I'm excited to tap in with you. But before that, I'm gonna read your bio because I was like, Chrystal, I know you in this capacity, but I really don't know you.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and list out your credentials because you're that girl. Yes.
I'm getting there.
So Chrystal is a producer for leading Black-owned animation and content production studios with credits on HBO Max, Cartoon Network, and Disney. Over 20 years in television production management across major networks, including Revolt, Disney, Max, BET. Okay, heavy hitters. Okay.
Long life.
ESPN, Comcast, and not only does she have these heavy hitters behind her, she was an executive at a major network at 30.
I sure was.
Wow.
A lot.
So today we're talking all about honoring the season that you're in when it comes to work, relationships, dating, family, the whole 9. It's cuffing season, and we're going to get into it if we cuffing or if we're not.
No, I'm only cuffing my Bible and my pillow. That's what I'm cuffing right now.
Okay. Well, I might be cuffing something else. So we're going to get into it.
Lucky you, yes.
But I'm excited. So beyond this piece of paper, who are you?
Oh, it's interesting because I feel like I'm in such a transition that I'm even trying to still figure out that part of me. I think when you get into your 40s, it changes. So like for me, it's more of I feel like because I don't want my career to define me. I don't want just being a woman to define me. I know I'm caring, a natural nurturer and things like that. But I really am I feel like I'm just now finding myself. I hate to say that, but I am, because there's a lot of boundaries that I never knew I never had. There's a lot of just things that I haven't even learned about myself. Like I just started karate. It's just little things that I'm just now exploring. So it's one of those things where I'm in a new season of my life. And so even defining who Chrystal is, like beyond, because of course I'm not on social media. I'm not on anything. I've never been on social media. So it's just like, even just, I was kind of forced to do this, but even just coming from behind from being behind the camera, it's me trying to figure out this season of who Chrystal is, honestly. And it's interesting because I'm writing a book right now called Seeing Things Crystal Clear. And it's so interesting that I'm finding out things about myself, what I like, because I think we talked about this before about how things chose us. Like my degree was to become a history teacher. That's all I wanted to do. And so to end up in television and producing and just the EIC and just all these things and just it shocks me every day. And so, yeah, I wish I can say, which is not good. Because I'm just now getting a moment. I feel like in your 40s, you have no choice. Even when, we Black, so we can look young, but your body will shut down. And so it will tell you to rest even if you don't want to. So I'm just I'm kind of forced to slow down. I don't move as fast as I want to. But I think that should just comes with age, and I'm accepting that in this season. So, yeah.
I love that. And I want to thank you for your vulnerability too, because just being on the other side of this work, you often don't have a moment to just reflect. Like, you hear everybody else's story, but I think that this is an opportunity for you to tell your story and recognize the power in it. And I know that we are talking from the lens of like being two successful Black women who possibly knew we were destined for success, but never thought about what it would take. What would the trade-offs be?
Yes.
What would you lose in the process? How would you figure that out? And I think today's just an opportunity to step back and be like, oh, where am I? What am I doing? And I love that you said that you're like coming back to yourself or redefining what it means to be Chrystal in this season, in this age. And I feel like for me, that's something that I'm going through as well. And it wasn't an age that caused me to get to that point. It was me breaking up with my boyfriend to get me to that point. And I'll get into that soon.
No.
He was an amazing guy. Shout outs to him. I'll get into that soon. But I think that this is a real conversation because as Black women, we are now becoming one of the most educated sector of the population. We're achieving at higher rates than Black men. And that causes a shift and a rift in our community because it's hard to find partners. It's hard to hold space for each other. People look at us and be like, "Oh, you think you better?" And no, I don't. No. You know, so
I'm just too smart to get got. Like, like seriously, like it's just like I meet guys now. I'm like, oh, you should have met me when I didn't know anything. Like I'm like, you just can't get got when you know knowledge is powerful, and I know we'll get deeper in that, but it just hurts me that even as a community, just getting that support from our brothers to understand, and then going deeper why we had to achieve. And I feel like we've had those conversations about, I didn't grow up with my father. So I'm just like, I lost my father tragically, unfortunately, my first week of high school. Wow. So not having that covering, not being able to, like, having to see my mother work 3 to 4 jobs. Like, I've been working 3 to 4 jobs since I was 14. We talk about this, how women do this, 15, regular. And then same thing in college, working 3 to 4 jobs. Same thing, like, always hustling, always having, like, 3 or 4 incomes. But it's not like you chose to be strong. Like, that's the thing that I hate, that in our community, we think that Black women are achieving because some stuff, now some people have, but some people had to. Like, it's like, I had to pay bills. Like, I had to do things like my parents, I'm the first to go to college in my family. First generation college students. Anybody who know that, you had to be, then the bars just keep going. So it's just that even coming into my femininity in this season. Because, yes, I keep my face beat now because I know my friends like, Chrystal, always. Yes, I do. Because I want to feel feminine more. Wow. Because working in, I know we're going to talk about this too, about working in male-dominated spaces and losing your femininity when you're in production. And it's all males. I mean, look behind the camera. I always work with nothing but men. And so I want to be able to remember who I am, because it's easy to take on mannerisms when you are raised by men in your career. And so... Yeah.
Girl. You gonna take us to church today? I think to the point around just like the hurt and the pain that then hardened you and caused you to try to fill those shoes of that masculine protection that you once had when you had your father is something that's so powerful, because we don't realize how important it is to have 2-parent households and how it's important to have a male and a female energy within raising a child. And a lot of our women are forced to be strong. We can go into the whole conversation around how it's systemic and it became systemic, and the system is working so good that it's just a constant, and it just happens, and we just accept it and we keep pushing through it. And as women, I encourage people all the time, hold the men in your life accountable. Make sure that they show up the way that they should. Make sure that they're there for the people that they need to be there for. Because if you fill the void, you're not going to do it the way that they could do it. And you're also going to push yourself to take on this masculine energy that's not you, and it's not supposed to be you. And I think for me, I didn't even know I was functioning in a masculine like energy, or knew that was something that I was doing, because mine came in the form of me overachieving and wanting to make sure I was good and successful. But now that you're talking, when I think about it, I think my whole demeanor shifted to more masculine when my father lost his business due to the recession. And it was a paradigm shift in my house where my mom had to step up and fill in and show up. And my dad was still pushing, still there, still trying to figure it out. But I recognized the shift, and I was like, well, I got to play my part. So I got a job. I worked hard, you know. And when you're doing that, it's like, who can say anything to you? Who can really stop you? Who's gonna check you? Because you're overcompensating for what's missing. So I feel like, to any Black woman that's out there, take a moment to pause and say, like, where am I overcompensating? Or where am I trying to fill a void that a man should be in that space to support me? Because it's so foreign to us that it shows up very toxic.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't be operating in that.
We shouldn't.
And it took deep work over the past 4 to 5 years for me to get closer to who I was before the loss and the changes in my household. And for me to lean into being more feminine so that I can attract more masculine men.
Yes.
And no shade, but I found myself dealing with men that had more stuff going on with themselves than I had going on with me, and I'm trying to hold space for them when I really wanted somebody to hold space for me.
Yep.
So it's like the roles were reversed.
Oh,
But,
I can relate to that. Yes.
Yes. But in this season, as you mentioned, it sounds like you're going through a transition, and you're in a space of redefining and leaning into what you enjoy and what you like, and finding that softness and giving yourself permission to do so. So what does taking care of yourself look like today for you?
Still trying to figure that out, only because I'm just realizing, and I feel like you said this earlier in reference to just relaxing and just realizing I don't have to overachieve. Like I'm like, because I had to first ask my question. I had to ask that question too, like, why? You know, just like you said, with therapists and work, I'm like, why do I work so much? Like, why do I have to do, like, why am I always doing? But then I never had anyone to do it. So I had to do it. So a lot of our stuff is habitual, and we don't realize that. Transition isn't taught, let alone in society, but even in our community. So like transition, because even let's go to dating. Like people still date. Like I'm in my 40s. I'm like, people still dating like they did in high school.
That's a fact.
And it's like, because no one has said like, no, dating in high school is different than dating in your 20s. Dating in your 20s is different than your 30s, 40s and up. So it's like, we need to like really acknowledge those shifts. And I can say, unless you find that space where you're not working constantly and you're being still, that's the thing. I would say for me, Sabbath, I would say, that's why I say from spirituality, Sabbath has helped me a lot. Learning about literally taking a break, and that helped me. And I would say, like, just to be honest, how did I get to even that point? I remember quitting a job, a 6-figure job, because I was just like, it's interesting because we can push ourselves to a limit that we don't realize it. And then the frustration, because you can go 0 to 100. Because I feel like, don't let the educated person fool you. When you grow up in the projects, like, I mean, I was like born in the South, but raised in Southeast DC, between Southeast DC and the county. And you can have some habits still inside of you. So then you get your big degree. And so when you're in business, you can go 0 to 100. So you can be all nice and like, oh, yes, let one person pop off. And then you walking out. And so, but that told me, because it was a situation where actually it was a compromise, because I hadn't, like, I'm not a drinker and smoker. And at 27, they asked me that I need to start drinking and all that stuff in this industry. And then I was just like, no. And I was like, a year later, I just left. But I rededicated my life to Christ. And I remember learning, I said, God, and it's bigger than going to church. It's literally getting your Bible and talking to the Lord. It's relationship.
Girl, that's a whole episode.
A whole thing. And
that's a whole episode.
Yes. And that helped me. Like, I was like, when God told me, you need to start resting because you're just making decisions.
Ooh.
And so when you're just making decisions or allowing decisions to make you. And that's the biggest thing that I was realizing. I was like, I was allowing things to just pull me here and there instead of putting my foot down and said, did I pray about this? Like, have I even thought about this? And I'm still getting to that point and struggling a little bit to get to there, because it's a process. When you have habitually just allowed everybody and everything to push you here and there, you got to pay bills, all this stuff. Now I'm taking my life back. Like, I'm taking everything back, and I hate to say, because I don't believe in taking baby steps because we grown. I want to take grown woman steps, because I get upset when people are like, I'm taking baby steps. I'm like, at 40, at 50. You better put those size whatever on and walk grown, you know. And so I feel like but you got to have that grace in, you know, to know what it is. But then you still have to. You got to make those steps. It's almost like having a child. That child didn't ask to be here. So you still got to raise that child. And some of us are still raising the child inside of us. Like, I'm re-raising Chrystal. Like, I'm going back to say, Chrystal, yes, you experienced A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes, you lost your father. Yes, you were abused as a child. Yes, you experienced so many things. And it's not that I made it, because you don't make anything until you have healed it.
Oof.
And people don't realize that. Like, I'm like, no, I was getting through. Yes, I was making a lot of money, but I never healed Chrystal.
Chrystal, you are cooking right now, okay?
I'm sorry.
I don't even know where to start with what you just said. Raising Chrystal, relationship Lord. With God for yourself.
For me.
Taking those baby steps and recognizing that it's not a race, it's a marathon. Like, so much was said from that one question of, how are you taking care of yourself? But that's the thing that happens when you make a committed decision to start pouring into yourself. Yep. You start to realize everything that you need to work on. And it can be overwhelming. It can be exhausting. It can cause you to go back to who you were. Because you're like, I don't see when I'm going to get to her, who I'm trying to get to. And it can be so daunting. But keep going.
Yes, but even, you just made me think about, because even changing my health. Like I'm 90% like vegan, right? And that once again learned, I'm from, like, my family's from the South, so that's learned. I had to make a choice to do that. I had to change the palate, like the stuff because everybody's like, Chrystal, you're not eating, like, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to live like out here longer, a little bit. And nothing wrong with the food, because that's why I said 90%, because when certain holidays come in, I'm throwing down. So I'm like 90%, but that has helped me as well, because you're more clear-minded. We don't realize the food we eat. And I remember, so Bojangles is a huge thing in the South, right? And so when they brought that up here to the DMV area, I almost had a fit. But Lord knows I was doing too much. So when he shut every Bojangle down, I feel like it was for me. Because he knew I was eating them daggone fries. And I wanted to, like, literally get because just like you said, you can revert back. Because I watched my mother comfort eat. Like, sit in her car and pull up, and before she even got in the house, and I found myself doing that. So you find yourself eating in the car. Not even, you can have a whole dining room table and you're just eating in your car, and not because you don't want to get up. It's just like, it's a habit that I saw, and so comfort eating was a big thing. So just even taking care of myself there was a huge thing for me, and then just really, because I've had major surgeries, and this is the first time I'm ever going to talk about it, because everyone sees me, like, in the industry, like, go dark sometimes. But I've had so many major surgeries underneath the wrap, like, in terms of from breast. I beat, like, breast cancer a couple times. Wow. And the reason why people don't realize, like, anybody who knows me knows I wear hoods a lot. But the biggest reason was when the last surgery I had, they had to cut the side of my head open. Wow. And for a Black woman, when we grow our hair down to at least close to our breast, you ain't cutting no hair off. So, like, I'm like, they had to come off. Obviously, my hair has grown back, but they cut my hair off, and I just remember feeling naked when they had to sew everything back up. And I said, God, when they took that chunk out, and I said, if I get through this, because at that time it was something where they was like, I may have like 5 years to live. And that's when I'm just like, and what I'm going to say, all I did is work my whole life. Like, literally, I remember that moment. And I was just like, and hoods became a comfort for me to remind me, Chrystal, you don't want to go back there anymore. Wow. And so it was one of those things where I just remember that situation. And I don't talk about it a lot, because when you are forced to be strong, you feel like no one cares about that stuff, because regardless, life still has to happen. But as women, we have to understand, because I do have friends. My friends were like, Chrystal, we call you all the time. Like, they be calling my mother to try to get me. They gonna see this episode and
be like, Chrystal.
I know. And it's like, I have those friends like, let's call, because I'm always working. Like, I'm always, as you know, I'm traveling. I travel a lot. I do a lot of things. And once again, habitual. But that slowed me down a little bit, because I hate, just like you said, I went back. Like, I was like, how did I go back? But this is a reminder, like, Chrystal, just slow down a little bit. So it's like a comforting thing, because I'm never going to forget, like, having that surgery and getting sewn back up and realize it. And so when I beat it, and they were just like, everything was good, I remember going on, and I never talk about fasting publicly, but I went on a 40-day and 40-night fast. And I remember God telling me within that 10 days, because we up here be trying to play Jesus. Knowing God didn't tell me to do 40 days. Almost lost my life on the mountain. He told me everything in 10 days. But I remember putting stickies up. I remember just taking my Bible, 40 gallons of water, got an Airbnb, and I put these big stickies up on the wall, and I said, God, talk to me, because I don't know why I work so much. I don't know why I can't even get on my knees to pray. Like, sometimes we forget, we just be talking to God like, yeah, da-da-da. But when the last time you really got on your knees and really asked God real questions? And I did all of that forcefully, because I was so used to standing up for me and realizing God needed me to kneel so he can stand up for me. And so in that moment,
pause. What? Say that again.
Yes, I had to kneel so God can stand up for me. Like, I realized that submission, and even as a woman, we need to understand that it's okay. Submission is not a bad word, especially who you're submitting to. Because we're always submitting to something. We don't even realize we submit to our jobs more than we submit to our health. So it's just like we're always submitting to something, but submitting to God, and he can clean up everything. And he told me in that moment, he said, Chrystal, you have a heart problem. And I remember he said, write down everything that's in your heart. And once I got to like 70, I realized, he's like, well, how am I supposed to get into there if I'm still holding on to all of this? And I didn't even realize half of the things I was holding on to.
So, funny enough, when I worked with Dr. Reynolds, who was on here a few episodes ago, my first session with her, she told me that I had too much stuff around my heart. And I had to do an exercise where I had to literally pull everybody else's trauma from my heart so that I can be able to open my heart to be loved. And that was one of the reasons why I got out of my relationship, because I was like, oh, I can't even love you the way that I'm supposed to love you, because I don't even know what love is, because I'm carrying everybody else's pain and trauma around my heart. But I'm gonna go back to a lot of other things that she said, because you taking me out today. I'm like, wait a minute, I wasn't ready for you. But I love it. I love it. The hood being an anchor for you, right? It's a reminder. It's a symbol. It's a guide. It has become a guide for you in this life to stay true to where you want to be. Even in those moments where it's hard, where it's tough, and where it becomes overwhelming. It was something else you said that I wanted to touch on. And it was around, you did your fast. You got answers from God. You recognized where your heart was. But also recognizing just like, how did you keep going, or what keeps you going, not knowing that the journey is just so long, or it can be so long for you?
Once again, I think it's habitual. I think I'm so used to, just going. Like, it's just like regardless. Like, it's just like, I've never been in a safe place. Like, I had a teenage mom, unfortunately. And so having to grow up and then be the mother over your siblings, because they look at you. My siblings always look for my reassurance, because I had to do everything so they can have an example. And so I had to do, I always say my mother did all the bad so I can be good. Like, she did everything. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like, let me make sure. So she did everything so I can do the right thing. And we don't realize that. And then the forgiveness is a huge thing too. So that was been part of my journey. I always say my life is a reflection of my faith and my forgiveness. And healing is just been the biggest thing. But yeah.
And I think what you're describing as that, like, kind of going back is relapse, right? So I always tell my clients, like, give yourself space to relapse. And it's not about the relapse. It's about how quickly you come out of it. And relapse is not just about drugs, or if you're taking drugs, all that. It's about life. Because all of the habits that we have did not form overnight. And I think a lot of times when we start to heal, when we start to do the work, when we start to realize that we want to live a better life, we put so much pressure on ourselves to do that in a perfect manner, which is not possible. So you have to hold space for the step backs. You have to hold space for the habits to creep back in, because you're creating new habits. You're creating a new way of life. One thing I've learned on my journey is that the blueprint is over. Like, it's no more. Like, I've gotten to a point beyond my siblings where I can no longer look to them for answers as far as their lifestyles. Like, I feel like I have 6 sisters. So for me, I was living a piece of all of their lives in some shape or form because I admired them, right? And I wanted to honor them, and I wanted to be just like them. But talking to Reynolds, she was like, 1, you got to clear your heart. 2, their life is not your life, and you got to live your own and walk on a path that's uncharted and be okay with that. And that has been scary, but it's been so rewarding and freeing at the same time. So having it's like we're on two sides of the track, right? You're on a different side, I'm on a different side, but it's a similar story.
Yep.
Where at some point in our journey growing up, we felt like we had to take on this mantle to be the best, to achieve, to be successful, to prove and be our ancestors' wildest dreams. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at what cost?
Yes.
Right? So that brings us to you almost your life, right? Me recognizing I don't want that to be my story because I'm 31, so I'm stopping while I'm ahead.
Yes,
and doing the work and shifting. And now that I've left my full-time 6-figure job to pursue my dreams and my work, I find myself holding on to the same habits I had in corporate America. Burnout, being stressed, filling my schedule. And I'm really committing to myself, and y'all be my witness, in 2026 that, like, I want to put Shoa first.
Yes.
I want to take care of myself first.
Yes.
And allow that to lead me to everything that I'm supposed to receive and have.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's how people are truly successful. That's what true success is in my book. Is taking care of yourself. And then everything else just falling in line because you're taking care of yourself, not the reverse of what we were
And
taught.
it's not selfish. Even, you know, and not to sound, because I'm definitely not religious, but it's just like when God says, you know, love me with all your heart, mind, and soul, and then love others as you love yourself. Not better, not below, but as you love yourself. And we love people more than we love ourselves or less. Like, it's never equal. Because just like you said, I'm in that same season of finding out what real love is. Because I said the same thing. I love when you had said that, because I said that my husband will be the first man that I ever love. You know, no shade to any guy I ever said it to, because I didn't know what it is. I really didn't know, because you don't know. You don't know what it is. And I realized, like, no, I never knew what it was. And so my husband will be the first one that I will genuinely actually say I love you and mean it, because I know it. And I don't, all this other time it was never love. It was what I thought love was, until you learn really what love is, because you're still learning to love, like, yourself. Like,
so let's get into it. Let's get into it. I think that's a big piece for women that are successful, is recognizing, like, what does love mean at this point in your life and your career? Because oftentimes I've been told, like, oh, you don't have time for me. Are you sure that's what you want? You have space for love? And I'm like, yes. But they were literally showing me, like, no, you don't. And that every time they said that, it was like I was getting, somebody was like pinching me. And I'm like, oh, like, shut up. I do have time for love. Like, what you talking about? But I think that naturally, by default, when you are so career driven, that's what you're focused on. For all of the many reasons that we just named, whether it's financial obligation, whether it's responsibility, whether it's feeling like if you don't do it, who gonna do it? So you end up, love goes to the back burner. But a lot of times when we talk about love for the other person, but it's about love for ourselves. And I've learned on my journey of being single for the past 4 years that it was never about me finding the perfect person or partner. I was literally looking for myself. And it was about me learning to love myself unconditionally, as I'm still learning to do. And then anybody that comes my way, they will be in line with that. But I think that for me, I was all conflated. I didn't know. I didn't have no dating handbook. I didn't know nothing. I just knew that I got out of a relationship. I was single. I didn't want to be tied down. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to date. Had no clue what dating meant. But all of that pushed me into a journey of finding myself, of locking in on what Shoa wants, what Shoa likes, who is she, on loving myself. It shifted relationships within my family. It shifted relationships that I had just like percolating around, the people that did not deserve to be in my space that I had in my space. It just taught me so much about myself. So for me, when I think about my career, it pushed me into figuring out what love truly meant to me. And it was all about me. And now that I'm in a space where I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at loving myself, I am having better dating experiences. Like, I'm attracting better men. Everybody keeps talking about the dating pool has piss in it. You're a part of the piss. Like, you're pissing in it too. Tell it. You know? So, like, how are you contributing to the dating pool? Let's talk about that. We want to point the finger, but let's point it back at ourselves and look in the mirror and realize that reflections are a reflection of you. So if you're having a poor experience, what you got going on?
No, that's real. Because I tell my girlfriends that all the time. Like, some stuff they experience, I was like, clutching pearls. Like, I was like, I would never. Like, and then it shows, like, you like, people will treat you the way you allow them to. And I'm just like, for me, I'm so traditional. And I'm like, and also just going back to what you said, like, I would say, I know I fell for the independent lie back in the day. Because, you know, I was back in the day when all the independent songs was coming up. You know, it was really big. And you're just like, yeah, I'm out here killing it.
Talk about how the media literally controls the narrative.
Ooh, yes, music. Yeah. And it's crazy because that's why I work in media, but I don't own TVs. I don't own, like, I haven't had a TV in my house since I was like 18 or 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like, and that's what most people in media, and that's like a real secret of people who are higher up in media, it's not consumed by, like, and that's the thing that we don't realize. Like, I don't even watch TV at all. But I make it. I know sounds very whatever, but it's real out here because I've learned I understand media to the T where it is a control of help you. Like, that's why songs, like, people have these playlists when they break up or have these different things, like, everything, if you allow it to control your emotions. Some of us like to be emotionally controlled and we don't realize it. Everybody wants freedom, but then don't let you have a breakup or something and you playing this whole list and then you're going to end up in the same situation again. Like, I'm just like, no, this does not make you feel good. Like, it just makes you reminisce on something that still wasn't good. Yeah. And so that's the thing I had to realize. I was just like, no. And so you have to take space for yourself.
I'm laughing because when I broke up with my boyfriend, I was listening to Jasmine Sullivan, Hoax Sales. Show. That was the wrong album for me to be blasting during that time.
See, always.
That probably controlled my whole first half of my dating experience.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I feel like everybody who dated like regular, you have a song for every relationship. I know, I'm pretty sure before I knew better, I had songs for every guy. I was like, I definitely knew. So it's like, we got to get to the point where I just think that I don't think we take advantage of what we should be doing in our singleness. What I would encourage you, because even just me being in my 40s, I'm not in a rush. You know, I want to be married. I want to have kids. But I realized all the things I didn't do for Chrystal.
Wow.
Like, I realized every single thing that I didn't get to learn. Like, of course, you can know what you like to eat and all that stuff. But I was just like, no, what health habits or what are certain things I shouldn't be doing? Like, where do I mature emotionally so that I can be what I need to be? How is my prayer life? Because I keep on saying, wives, that's the biggest thing I've learned. And like, shout out to For Wives Only in LA who taught me this. Like, if you don't know how to pray, you're not ready to be a wife.
Wow. And
so, because the thing is, and then some of us can't even pray for ourselves, let alone pray for a husband. Or pray, and I'm saying pray for him, like literally for him, not just I'm praying for a man. But I'm saying when you get that man, can you actually pray for him consistently? And that's the thing, because that's what he really needs.
But what you're describing is like the preparation that has to happen in your singleness to attract the partner that you desire.
Yes.
And I think one thing I've learned in my singleness is just about like my wants and needs. Recognizing that like I was so caught up in like what I thought I needed or what I thought I wanted, but I never really took the time to figure that out. I also think that in your singleness, you have to learn yourself. So I think being in a career for so long and not putting, like, I feel like I was still dating while I was focusing on my career. I didn't feel like I chose. I just don't feel like I gave space to really invest in love.
Nope.
And what I'm finding and what you're saying is like, it's not about being single. It's not about attracting the next person. It's about being attractive to yourself.
Ooh.
It's about making sure that you are good within yourself so that when that person comes, you're ready.
Yep.
I think one thing I want to talk about is the cultural layers of what a good man is and what we kind of constrain ourselves to when we think about the type of man we want to be with, the type of man we need, and that type of thing. Did you have any social cues or things that told you what type of man you should be with?
Although I lost my father my first week of high school, I still got to see a man and how he treated me, how he called me beautiful all the time. Like, I was like a size 0 with no butt, no nothing in high school. And you would have thought I walked around with the biggest go-go butt in the world because my dad told me I was beautiful. Like, no one could have ever, if I looked crazy, I had no idea. So I think it's hard too to find a man that even make you feel beautiful. Like, I don't even date. I haven't dated in forever because of the fact that I dated so much that now compliments became, okay, I heard that before. Like, so I have stopped because I want my husband's compliments to feel good. So I know right now, it's just society, of course, have created this thing in our men, because I have brothers. Unfortunately, I always joke about my light-skinned brothers, because these are my brothers are pretty boys, which is the hardest brothers to have. I never felt protected a day in my life having pretty boy brothers. but even just learning from them, I think that I want a man, or men should always have mentors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a thing called, and it's crazy because what just popped into my mind, like mentor, where's the men? Like the MEN and mentor. And it's so, like, to me, that creates a man into a man. And so a lot of us grow up, unfortunately, in brokenness. But just like me, I have mentors who I get to see marriages all the time. I've seen amazing marriages, great marriages. And so when I meet men, I'm like, who's your mentor? Like, if you don't have a mentor, I hate to say that you're not a man, especially because if you didn't grow up with your father, you need a mentor. And so it's just certain things that men need men. Men don't need boys as friends, like that whole, that peanut gallery. Like, men need men around them to hold them accountable and to help them to become all that they're supposed to be. Because I hate to say it, because I can't tell a man how to be a man. And I never want to be that person, but I know that a man needs a man to show him how to be a man. And so that's the reason why, for me, I'm just looking for a man. It's hard to find. There's a lot of men, but I want a man. And so they have lost a sense of what that means to lead. Like, I want to be submissive. They think that independent women, those are the best women. Let me tell you about Proverbs 31 woman is an independent woman. Like, she's a hardworking, not independent, but she is a hardworking woman. So she is a very, she's an entrepreneur. Yeah. And so I always say that. I was like, no, not everybody's a Proverbs 31 woman, because those are like the entrepreneur, but her man honored her. He didn't look at her as competition. He didn't look at her. He didn't realize, because any woman, it's not about always flipping a seed to become a baby. An entrepreneur woman can flip any dollar you have. I have flipped every dollar any man have ever. Anybody who dated me, for real.
They say a man that finds a wife finds a good thing.
Exactly. But now I'm tired of flipping guys who are not my husband. So that's why I stopped real quick. But I'm just saying, but a woman should be able to multiply anything that you give her. Yeah. And so those are things that we don't think about. So I'm looking for a man who's ready to lead, but lead in character.
Y'all listening? This is a call to action to y'all men out there. Lead to
character. Lead in everything. Lead in health. Like, everybody's so smoked out and just, it's just a lot of things that are just not even attractive anymore. Like, I'm just like, I want a man who, like, there's certain things that just opening up doors. I'm very traditional. Opening up doors and just certain things. Going to the dentist. Men don't even take care of themselves. You look at my teeth, tell me I got a cute smile, and then you haven't even been to the dentist in forever. Like, get out of my face. Like, men are coming up to women asking for things, like, that have nothing to do with what they even have these days. And of course, being in my 40s, you get younger guys and all that stuff. So I just want a responsible man. Like, that's it. Yeah. I don't feel like that's a lot to ask for.
A responsible man. No, I love that. And again, you hit so much, right? As just far as, like, men needing mentors, men needing to hold each other accountable. And as women, we have a lot of spaces that we're learning to be women. Yep. Are we learning to be the right type of women? That's very questionable. Going back to the media controlling and influencing what we're seeing, what we're expecting, what we're thinking. People think it's cute to be flued out. If a man is flying you out, that shows that he thinks that you're on call. Okay? He should be coming to you.
Deep.
Let's start there.
Deep.
All right? And it's nothing wrong to plan a trip with your man.
Yes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But all of the music, all of the messages, all of the things that we're so caught up in and wanting, it's not even reality.
Nope.
And also, a lot of those women that you see portraying that and you seeing that on TV, they're sad. They're very sad, unfortunately. Some of them are in abusive relationships, whether emotional, physical. It's really rough out here. Yeah. So I think that back to everything that we said from the beginning, it's about your relationship with yourself.
Yep.
Because if you love yourself enough, you will be able to love somebody just as much.
Amen.
And you'll be able to give unconditional love to the person that deserves it.
Amen.
And I think that whether a man or a woman, we have to start with ourselves first.
Amen.
So if we're not taking care of ourselves, we ain't living on ourselves, we're not eating right, all of that, why do we want to be in partnership? Period. That doesn't make any sense, because you're going to have a toxic relationship because you are toxic.
There you go.
Literally walking as a toxic trait, like all of that, that's you.
Yes.
So I think it's really about us just starting with self.
Yes.
And I think that as we go into the holiday season and we're about to be around family that's like, oh, when you gonna have a child? Where's your man? Where's your boyfriend? Mm-hmm. What do you have to say to the young lady that may be going into this holiday season?
I say go in it with your head up high and just say things like, he's coming. Mm-hmm. God is preparing him, just like he's preparing me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, don't be afraid of those questions. I've never been afraid of that. I think that's my personality though. Mm-hmm. But I think that we have to take on these challenges because you're still challenging yourself. Mm-hmm. So I would say, no, go in with your head up high, because I'd rather come in with no man than a man who not a man. Like, so I'm just like, at the end of the day, that's huge to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you're at this point in your life. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm getting there closer and closer each day, that like, I really don't care what people think.
Nope.
Or what they're considering or what they have or wondering about me.
Yes.
I think that it comes with maturity and loving on yourself.
Yep.
And as you evolve into a softer chapter, because that's what this is becoming. That's like, you're no longer carrying the heaviness. You're no longer carrying the loads that do not belong to you. Yep. How are you working to maintain that softness each and every day for yourself?
Spa. I feel like going to the spa, just all the feminine things that we should enjoy as being a woman. Mm-hmm. I think that's a big thing. Just enjoying being alone, but not in the way of being alone. Like, I like, it's like I'm alone, but I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing. I'm just like, embrace the season of singleness. Mm-hmm. Like, I've embraced it to the point where I'm just like, and it's not that I want to be single. Like, everybody was like, no, I want to be married. I want to have kids. Yeah. I want the chaos, because my life has already been like, my career, I hit pinnacles already. I feel blessed. But I'm just like, at the end of the day, I want a husband. I don't think most women, and I'm talking about real women, especially women who know the Lord too, we want husbands. Like, I want that covering. I hate being in production and not having that covering and always having to do business with men. Because I want to be like, I want to call my husband, like, handle him. In a godly way, of course. Pray. Help me pray. Like, I want to be able to call my man and say these things. Mm-hmm. So it's just the process of that, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No. And he's coming. He's coming. And I'm excited for you. And I can't wait to look back at this and be like, look at this episode. She called you in. I think, like I said in a previous episode, power your tongue. Yeah. You got to speak life over your love for yourself and your love life. You got to be like, oh, my husband's on his way.
Yes, he is.
I'm attracting the perfect partner. I know that I'm in alignment with who's for me. Like, all of those things, because it can get very daunting and it can get very exhausting. We're not going to sit up here and act like it's annoying to be single for as long as we've been, but at the end of the day, it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in divine timing and recognizing that the time was not wasted.
Yes.
And that's another thing for women. Like, don't waste your time.
Yes.
Don't waste your time.
Amen.
Like, pour into yourself. And I promise you, the more you love on yourself as you're dating, those interactions will become shorter and shorter and shorter. And to me, that's how I know I'm getting closer, because I no longer waste time on men trying to fix them, trying to figure it out.
No, definitely not.
Putting my feelings to the side, crying over stuff that should not be cried over.
Nope.
Like, I just like, I hear stuff now and I'm like, oh, it's been great knowing you. You're not the guy for me.
Period.
Appreciate you. And I feel so powerful and good doing that.
Walking away.
Literally walking away. But it took me understanding my worth, my essence, and all that I bring. And somewhere along the line, as women, you lose understanding how worthy you are.
Exactly.
And I have an amazing dad that calls me Princess Shoa, that used to sit and draw me and poured into me and let me know who I am and what I deserve. But this world ain't easy.
It's not.
And it breaks you down, and it conditions you, and it controls your mind, and it does all these things, and you have to reprogram yourself.
Always.
So I have gone through a deprogramming. I'm currently reprogramming and hoping that I'm putting the right stuff in the new system. But thank you so much for your vulnerability, your transparency.
Thank you, Shoa.
I think this conversation was very needed.
Yes.
And it went exactly the way it needs to go.
Yes.
I appreciate that we centered ourselves in this, because that's
Yes.
what it's about. So we always close with ahas, appreciations,
Okay.
apologies, and acceptances. So let's see what you got today.
Let me see. And it was funny. I thought I would get this one.
Mm-hmm.
I say acceptance. I got acceptance. I'm accepting Chrystal in this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm accepting literally what it is, what I can control, what I can't control,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly what I can control.
Mm-hmm.
But also just accepting the season. Like, everything, you couldn't have told me I would be in my 40s with no kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really wanted a family and kids. Like, I really did. And I'm just happy that I now value it. But once again, I had to value myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I started valuing myself, I started understanding what should be valued in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can make it all the way up, just like you said. Like, I was a VP by like at 30, and I was like, oh, I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, but I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like I'm by myself, like, oh my gosh, just like, no, you want to have these things, you want to enjoy. Like, I wanted to enjoy it with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people just don't want relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually wanted a relationship, so
Mm-hmm.
and want one.
Mm-hmm.
And I know God is going to put me there, but I'm accepting this season right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love that. Let's see what I got. Appreciation. I'm appreciating this conversation. I think that it was very insightful to who you are and where you're at on this journey, and being able to see someone that is ahead of me in their journey, and has walked a similar path and understands what it means to be like successful in your career and all that stuff. Still recognize that love is possible. It's coming, and it's going to be here. So I really appreciate your perspective, getting to know you more, all the gems that you dropped, because you was going in.
Thanks.
And I love it. And just the wisdom that was present in the conversation. So thank you so much for such a healthy dialogue.
So does that mean I'm going to get this Adidas fit? Do y'all see this? I've been saying it. I offered so much money to get this. You know, like, because this is such a cute, isn't it such a cute top?
Thank you.
Yes.
She's not getting it. But we're going to find you your own.
Shout out to them. But she found it. She found it too.
We found it for you.
You did find it.
But thank you so much. I know you're not on social.
I'm not. So you see me when you see me. So, I mean, you know, anybody can ask. They can go through your stuff. And, you know, I'm here.
If anybody wants Chrystal to support them in their storytelling and their production and their work, hit me up. You can follow us at iTav Collab. You can find her at Mettle Works too. So _ at Mettle Works. We're here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.